Good morning, gents and ladies. It's Saturday morning. Well, it's nearly dinner time. 11:40. This will come out later today, and it's week in the life last week, and our first tramped out in the van on Monday. It's a really good week for me actually. Yeah, a couple of days, really good money, and the rest of it, God, it's hollow in here, isn't it? It's the kids' bedroom, well, the grandkids, sorry, not the kids. Grandkids' bedroom when they come and stay, and it's quiet because wife's doing something out there and telly's on and whatever. Anyway, fuel prices. My cheapest fuel last week would have been 147 with VAT, 122.80. So just over 147. Well, it's 154 around here, so there's still a saving of 7p. I know people are going to say, I've got a cheaper fuel card and blah, blah, but I've had these two fuel cards since I started, and yeah, you can get the cheap one now and again, but I think they're much of a muchness. But you'll tell me different. Got the bins on because got me Oracle with the diary. Yeah, we hadn't got a job Monday, believe it or not. I hadn't got a job, and I wasn't confident of getting a busy day, and it was my busiest day in the end. So you just never know, really. I had nothing booked in, but I picked a job up quite quick. It was a 9 o'clock pickup, and it was from Kettering to Milton Keynes, and that was nice and simple. Got well paid, and I was in Milton Keynes, and I was the right near the M1, just off junction 14, and a job come on from there was a couple of jobs, but nothing much, and this was about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and there was a job come on from Letchworth, Garden City, and it was going up to Falkirk, and because I got really good money going down, I still quoted really good money going up to Falkirk and got the job. So happy with that. It was just one box, and it was going to a company which it didn't prove to be tricky in the end, but it could have been. They shut at 4:30. I wasn't going to get there till 7:15 at night, 6:30 in with a stop. And he informed the shipper, and he said, "No, there's someone there at 24/7. All okay." So on the way up, I stopped at services, put the feed on for Scotland, and I got a job for the Tuesday morning from Greenock down to Newcastle upon Tyne, Geordieland. And so I was happy with that, and that was an early pickup, 7:30. So we got the next day's job. So we was staying in Scotland, and I thought I'll sort the hotel out later. Got to Falkirk, done the delivery eventually. Security didn't really want to take it. They'd refused two vans with pallets because they had no way of storing that. But I only got one box, and they took it. So we had a quick chat with the shipper to tell him what had happened. And he was okay. And trying to get a hotel around Glasgow cheap was no. 70 quid was the cheapest. Even the travel lodges was 69.95. So I looked for Park for Night, and I put Greenock in where I was collecting from, which was 40 miles away. 40 minutes away. It's about 30 miles. And where I was collecting from was Greenock Marina, and believe it or not, that's where there was a Park for Night, and it was on the marina, and it was brilliant. This gated marina, the guys were there, two security blokes, there's a night staff, and as long as you put a donation into the Navy Lifeboat, the Royal Navy Lifeboat Association, they let you stay there. Showers were spotless, absolutely spotless. Toilets were spotless. I got a cup of tea there. The old boy said, if you want a cup of tea, just come over and a cup of tea. And in the morning, you want another tea, use the showers. And it cost me a fiver. I put a fiver in the box. I said, is that enough? He said, oh, that's plenty, mate. That's plenty. And there was an airstream there, and there was two motorhomes further up, and it was gorgeous. I just chilled, watched a film on my laptop, and slept like a baby, mate. I set my alarm for 6:20, and I woke up. I didn't wake up. Well, obviously I woke up, but the bloody seagulls woke me up at about 5:30. So decided to get up, put my stuff away, went and had another shower. So I had a couple of showers out of this £5. He made me a brew, the old boy, Jamie, really nice lad. And that was my night's tramping. And I picked up on the marina. It was literally 200 yards from where I was, just out the marina. First left, and it was company were there. So Tuesday we went from Greenock to Newcastle. which was fine. Monday and Tuesday were my two beggar days. Monday was a fantastic day. No hotel either to take into cost. And Tuesday was a mega day as well. I got out of Greenock and I got paid to Newcastle upon Tyne. And then I got a job in Newcastle from North Shields to Newcastle. It was 11 miles. I did that for 35 quid because there was no work at Newcastle when I got there. And I put 35 quid on it and got it. And then a job come up from North Shields to Warwick, which is ideal because Warwick's 40 miles. Yep, 40 miles from my house. And them three jobs was nearly as much as the Monday job, which was up there. So I'd got paid all the way to Warwick. So my dead miles was literally just Warwick to home. So Tuesday was a really good day. So Monday and Tuesday, mega days, over 300, nearer 400. So that's the week set up. Luckily to get out of Scotland because there wasn't much else. So it was good fortune. And that was it. Wednesday, I hadn't booked anything in. I got home. What time did I get home? Got home 7:30 Tuesday night, and I looked at the feed. So I thought I'll have a bit of a lay in, and I got a job Wednesday to Swindon. Job I've done numerous times. I put the same money on it, and the company give me it just sends it straight over. They don't even phone me. One box. It's the easiest delivery you can do. It's just pick up one box to the company, straight into the goods in one box. And I got another job then from Swindon after waiting 3 hours in Swindon. 3 hours in Swindon. And I was determined to get summer. I weren't going to drive home, although I did drive home. But I got a job from Swindon, delivery Thursday now to Great Yarmouth. Not the best area, but it was from Swindon. I was literally a mile from it. And you had to go past Northampton virtually to get to Great Yarmouth. So I quoted on it quite keenly because I wanted the job and got the job. And I went and picked it up, and it was a pallet. It was 4 motors on a pallet, and they weighed in all four. They were 75 kilo a motor, so it was 300 kilos. So it's a good lump on the back, but that's fine. So I took it home and delivered it the next morning at between 8:30 and 9, and I got there at 8:30. I set off home on the Thursday at 5:30. So 3 hours, had a little break, grabbed myself a cup of tea, and we were in Great Yarmouth, and we know Great Norfolk is not a good area. I had checked the day before, there wasn't one job for the next day. So I was going blind, and Great Yarmouth, I love it as a place. We used to go there. Mum and Dad used to take me as a kid, and me and my wife have been a few times. It's not far from where we are. We've been on the motorbike once to it just for a day trip, which was 2.5 hours. And yeah, it hasn't changed. And also, when we used to go on the Broads, it obviously goes over Braden Water. Lovely. County Thursday is a bit of a jolly, as in, I didn't think I was going to get anything out of it. I'd got 100 quid. I split the job up money wise from Swindon, and I got 100 quid to go to Great Yarmouth for the 130 miles. So that was that money. And I waited the best part of 4 hours in Great Yarmouth. It wasn't a case of not getting any jobs. There was no jobs. There was 2 jobs out of Norwich, which I was only 20 mile away. One was going to Slough. I didn't get that. I quoted on it, so I did quote on one job, and the other one was Norwich to Norwich. And there was about 4 drivers in Norwich, and before I even went to put a quote on it, it sold. So I thought I was going to be driving home empty. That's what I thought. I thought I'm definitely going to be driving home empty here. There's going to be nothing coming out of it. I thought I'll persevere. Tom TG Logistics, he's got a channel. He's on our WhatsApp group, and he says I'll just persevere and persevere. Now I'll wheel up to a limit, and I decided to persevere up to 2 o'clock, and then I would go home because I could still be home for 5, and would write the day off. And I waited. I did all my time in one retail park. Got myself some work boots, exactly the same as I got now from Sports Direct. They're Gerant, and they're 40 quid. And these work boots I've got have lasted 18 months. They're just getting a bit tatty, but still usable. So I've got another pair of them. I went and got ice cream. Then I had to move because I'd used me 3 hours parking up at the retail park. I went over to Asda in Yarmouth. If you go to Great Yarmouth, just on the right, just over the bridge, turn right, Asda's there next to the railway station, and you can look over Braden Water and watch the boats, which is not a bad thing. Beautiful day. Thought, well, I'll watch it till 2 and then I'll knock it on the head. But I didn't have to because a job come on from Norwich to Sherwell Valley Services. 2 boxes. And I quoted on it keen because that's Bicester and that's not far from my house. I quoted keen on it and got it. And I could get to the pickup just in time. The pickup was for 1 o'clock and picked the job up. And it was 130 miles. Something like that. And yeah, I just trundled to Sherwell Valley. And it was to the service stations. There was a pop-up exhibition. And there was 2 boxes to go to there, which we done. So Thursday was quite a good day. It was a long day, don't get me wrong. 12-hour day, but only actually worked 8 hours. I didn't, 7.5 hours. That's all I worked. So I didn't hang around at Bicester. I just started driving home. And I hadn't booked nothing in Friday, but I'd hit target for the week with them 4 days. Without that, I just hit target. So I decided Friday not to have it off, but I was going to do what we call Uncle Albert, little jobs around the Midlands. That's what the intention was, and it worked that way. Nothing booked in. There were some long jobs on Friday morning. There was a job from Wellingborough up to Scotland, but never going to do that. Livingston up to Livingston. There was a job to Blackpool. Not going to do that because if you're stuck in Blackpool Friday, you got 3.5 hour drive home, empty. So I waited. Didn't have to wait long. It was busy, and there was a job Northampton to Tamworth, and I'd done the job before, and I quoted keenly on it. I still quoted good money, 90p a mile, but it's a shorter distance job, and got that job. And a bit of faffing loading it. It was from a different unit, which was only 100 yards away, but I had to go across there. And I decided I was going to do a couple of little jobs and knock it on the head early. Go and see my auntie. She's in a care home, lovely care home, and just chill out. And I didn't have to wait long at all because before I dropped the first job in Tamworth, I'd quoted and got the second job at King's Bromley to Walsall. Short job. It was a pallet and it was about 10 mile. Quoted minimum 35, got it. And that proved okay. And then I waited in Walsall at Morrison's, which is a good perching spot, let me tell you, near the motorway. And I got something to eat. And I thought I just want one job going towards Northampton. And it was busy feed. But my God, what's the long distance jobs going on a Friday? And obviously guys are not going to go to Scotland on a Friday unless you're a Scottish driver. And they sat there and it's like, Jesus, why couldn't this be like it on a Tuesday or. And in the end, the job was on there, Birmingham to Wigston, which was South Leicester, which suited me down to the ground. I quoted on it, and I quoted on 2 jobs. There was another one from South Birmingham to Bicester again. So I quoted on both the same price because they're both equally distanced from my house, and it was the same sort of mileage. And the phone went, and I got the Wigston job. And it was picking up a small box, and when I mean small, it fitted in my hand. And it was going to meet a driver who was carrying it onwards journey to Portsmouth. And he come from Portsmouth, and I was taking it. It was for their own driver. He was in Wigston, and this was going to Portsmouth. So I took it to him, and he was taking it on. So Friday was a massive earning day. I did 190 miles all day. So it wasn't mountains of miles, it was quite not too bad at all. And that was the week. Very happy week. After last week not eating target by, was it 100 quid? Can't think. Might be more than that. Yeah, 130 quid short last week's target. This week made up for it. I did my duty hours. This is strange. This doesn't normally happen. My duty hours was 52, which is I normally do between 45 and 55. So that's okay. That's the average. My driving hours on a 52-hour week are normally about 40 hours, 42 hours, 43 hours, 44 hours, roughly there. 34 hours because I had, and I worked it out, about 12 to 13 hours waiting time, which is very unusual for me. Two blocks of a 3 and a 4, and there was another couple of blocks of 2 hours. So that's how it works out. Mileage I did 1675. The money before VAT was 1123. With VAT 1347.60. You give the VAT man his 134.76, and it works out at 1212.84. So per day was 242.56. It's good stuff. But you're doing a 10-hour day, so you want to be earning that. That's roughly about it's £24.25 an hour every hour. So with your waiting time and all that, it isn't too bad. And pence per mile works out at 73, which is not brilliant. Don't get me wrong, it's not brilliant. But at these times, you ain't going to get 85, 95p. You may do if you sit around all day and wait for one or two jobs, but you ain't going to earn the volume of money. So that's it. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all making money. Any questions, please ask. I will try and answer them. I do try and look at the comments. I'll try and respond to them. Might not be the same day. If you like the video, like me waffling on for 1642, please like and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. We're up to 1130, which is amazing. Listening to me talk crap. And we're off to Saints in about 2 hours, and it's the derby game at home to Leicester. So this is the calm before the storm. We hate Leicester. Funny, my last job was to Leicester Wigston on Friday. It's a rivalry like that, Northampton and Leicester teams. There's always fireworks. Doesn't matter. We're top of the league at the minute. They're sort of 6th or 7th. That never comes into it. It's just a one-off battle. If we win, it's going to be a fantastic weekend. And if we lose, I'll be a miserable bastard because I'm a bad loser. Hey ho, that's life. I'm going to do a video next week. I'm sort of putting a video together. It may be a little bit controversial. It's about it's the CX to do with, and there's syndicates. It's people who are undervalued, who have been undervalued. The jobs are getting too cheap because I'm damn sure there's a syndicate groups going around. I'll explain more in the week, but I think the CX are trying to cut out syndicates, but there's more that can be done. For people like us and people like yourselves who watch me, you're one-man band, you're relying on work, you're relying on your good name. I did a couple of jobs a couple of weeks ago, and it was 2 and 3 vans there, and they were syndicate drivers. They just were. They hadn't even got they've got screenshots on their phone. They hadn't even got a CX app. Don't get me on that. But that's undermining the job, as far as I'm concerned. And it bloody annoys me because most of us here do the job right, and we struggle to make a living, or we're making a living on our name. But any drivers that are coming in this business, that your one-man band, you ain't got the feedback, and you're fighting against people who have got I've got 600 plus positives. You're going to struggle, and it's not because of us, although we do take work because of our reputation, but it's people who are paying once on the CX and then using 3-4 drivers as syndicate drivers. I don't know who they are. You never get to them. I wouldn't get to them. But when you turn up somewhere and some buggers turned up, they haven't even got the bloody app. And it happened last week. And he hadn't got nothing. He only got was address on his phone. And then he relays it back. So I'll try and go more into it next week. We'll see. I'm trying to do it so it's fair to us drivers. The CX is a product. They just want to sell. but they are trying. This trusted, I'm not sure that's worked. I'm not sure it's worked. There's got to be something else to stop this. And if it does get stopped, then us drivers who are honest, reliable, do the job right, don't co-load unless you're allowed to, and get there on time and look presentable and have a van that's decent, not a heap of shit, which was what there was last week. See, I've rambled on about it. I weren't going to, but I have. But let's hope we can get something sorted. Let's hope the people who need to sort it, and do something more about it. Anyway, I hope you have a great weekend and speak next week. Cheers.